For the first time since 1967, Formula One returns to Le Mans, the home of the famous 24-hour race and the home of Circuit de la Sarthe. Welcome then to Le Mans. This is the big one. French Grand Prix, and it's round 6 of F1 Fantasy Series here this year. What an incredible setting this could be. A long 13-mile track, and well, this is going to be an incredible one. Here's your grid then for the French Grand Prix, and it's no surprises really. Max Verstappen on pole, he knows his place like any other. George Russell in second. Looking down the grid then, West and Hamilton line up on row 2, 3rd and 4th, good qualifying from each. Kristen Clark gets it KCF1 car up into 5th, Lando Norris in 6th. Piastri and Antonelli 7th and 8th for good sort of qualifying for them. In 9th and 10th then, Leclerc poor qualifying, Hadjar getting into the top 10 only just. Oliver Behrman gets started 11th, 12th for Nico Hülkenberg in the Audi. Esteban Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo line up 13th and 14th, two former Renault teammates. Vettel and Alonso, two big rivals and former world champions, 15th and 16th. Lindblad in 17th, Colapinto in 18th, poor qualifying from Alpine where they've had good form. Lawson and Gasly in 19th and 20th, of course home race for Gasly. Stroll in 21st, best qualifying for Aston Martin of the season, 22nd for Bortoleto. Albon and Bottas followed behind 23rd and 24th, and on the back of the grid then, Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez in 25th and 26th. Here we are then, on the grid at Le Mans, Verstappen on the right, Russell on the left, as we come to 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go, even start from the front 2, West cutting across Hamilton straight away, and it might already be 3 wide going up towards turn 1. The 3 of them going through the Dunlop curve together, Verstappen on the outside, West on the inside, Russell in the middle. It's all going to maybe go wrong, and it's gone wrong, and Verstappen, Russell and West all spinning round, and that means Lewis Hamilton takes the lead coming into turn 1. Kristen Clark in the background as well, and now this is huge for the World Championship, maybe for Verstappen, Russell and West, but Lewis Hamilton, it's like a gift coming into through turn 1. This might be a safety car. They've got a long lap, of course, so they might have time to recover the cars. But Lewis Hamilton then coming up through Tête Rouge and down towards the Mulsanne Straight, leading the French Grand Prix. What a brilliant start this is for Kristen Clark, and also then I think is Lando Norris in the background will have the slipstream on Lewis Hamilton as we come up to the first chicane with the Daytona chicane, and of course now maybe Norris having a look, Clark has to cover off, and well, I don't think it's going to be enough for Clark to dive down the inside on Lewis Hamilton here, but throughout the chicane we come, all the power you want a great exit as you come up towards the second part of the Mulsanne Straight, and now all the way down to the Michelin chicane. Well, will Clark maybe have a move and maybe have a think down the inside? Hamilton thinks about jinking to the inside, but Clark is going to be side by side with Lewis Hamilton all the way down towards Michelin. Will she dive down the inside, maybe get last the late breakers on Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion? Clark can't quite, and she does hold the outside, and the KCF1 car leads a Grand Prix for the first time this season, and what a start this has been for the rookie Brit. But now Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, in the back on the back of the KCF1 car, coming up now down towards Mulsanne corner. Will this happen here? Hamilton dives down the inside, Clark holds the outside, and I think we've got a red flag. We have a red flag due to that turn 1 incident. Everyone's going to have to go single file back to the pits. Well, let's see a replay then of this first corner incident. This is West on board now. He gets a good launch. He cuts right across Hamilton, a bit hesitant initially. A bit of battery used to try and get alongside Russell. Now Russell, I don't know if he sees him or not, because he's pinched and then, oh dear. It all ends in tears. Let's see what happens with this then. Yeah, I think Russell's not quite given him the track room, and West hasn't really anticipated it. There's another Ferrari off in the background actually, and Verstappen's a bit of a passenger in the accident, but 3 main leading cars out already. Here's George Russell then. Does he move to the inside? West in his mirror, you can see him, and that's a big hit for 3 cars as well. This is Charles Leclerc then. I think this might have been the Ferrari that went off the back. It definitely will be. And almost like Leclerc gets tagged from the back, and we'll see here now. This is... Oh yeah, it's Hadjar. It's a bit of a squeeze, and I think it's Vettel, sorry, the Audi and Hadjar. Here we go, 5 red lights again. Lights out and away we go. This time a great start from Kristen Clark, and she gets away really, really well. The two McLarens neck and neck in the background. Antonelli with a good start too. Hulkenberg up into 6th for the minute, but Hamilton will have a lot of chasing down to the 7-time world champion. And he knows that the Ferrari is a lot faster, especially through this first sector. And Clark will be under a lot of pressure coming up now through the first sector and all the way down towards Turtle Rouge. Maybe Clark might be under a lot of pressure down the Mulsanne straight again, but it looks like it's all very processional, a very clean and easy start for the front 6 drivers in this race. What a great start though for Clark. Here we go then, Lewis Hamilton then under pressure from Oscar Piastri in the background. Piastri will have the inside line coming down towards Indianapolis. Maybe Piastri might want to have the outside, and maybe he does. Nice move from Oscar Piastri. Lewis Hamilton passed straight away, last the late breakers, and now as we come through Arnage for the 2nd time in this race, and this is nice and easy for Oscar Piastri. A nice easy overtake. But now the run all the way down towards the Porsche curves. And Hamilton will really need to start picking up the pace. Maybe he is saving his tyres a little bit. It's a long race here, a long lap. Who knows what could possibly happen over the next 16 laps. Well then, Lando Norris now putting the pressure on Lewis Hamilton. But maybe Hamilton's trying to put the pressure on Oscar Piastri. Down, pulling to the right-hand side, down the Mulsanne straight comes Lewis Hamilton. I think he might get this move done even way before the Daytona chicane. Piastri's holding that outside line. He's like trying to hug it like a koala to a tree, but Piastri just about loses out, and Hamilton retakes 2nd position in the race, and what a great move it is. Here we go again, the battle keeps raging on between 2nd to 4th. Hamilton, in this meantime, is really under pressure now. This time from Oscar Piastri once more. Piastri will have the inside line. A repeat of what happened with Clark on lap 1. Piastri throws it to the inside. Last the late breakers will have the traction on the exit. Brilliant move from Oscar Piastri. Very clever indeed. And this is going to keep raging on and on throughout this entire race. And now then, as we're coming up towards the Porsche curves, Hamilton will throw it down towards the inside. He'll have the outside line for the first Porsche curves. He couldn't, could he? All the way around the outside. What a brilliant move that is from Lewis Hamilton. Trademark of the 7-time world champion. And Oscar Piastri loses out, but it's a brilliant move. One to stand up and applaud. And if you're in the grandstand, but Lewis Hamilton is back up to P2, and maybe is this going to be his final finishing position today? Only a few laps left for these two McLarens to get past, but they're being held up ever so slightly by a 7-time world champion in a Scarlet Ferrari again at Le Mans. What an incredible race this is turning out to be. They said it's a massive gamble to drive your own car in Formula 1, make your own team, and of course, Kristen Clark has done it all. She's going to become the first woman to win in Formula 1 ever. And she's about to do it today here at Le Mans in the French Grand Prix. Kristen Clark is a race winner and wins the French Grand Prix here at Le Mans. What a brilliant day out this has been for the KCF1 team. Hamilton in 2nd, Norris in 3rd, Piastri in 4th. What a brilliant day out this has been. There you have it then. Kristen Clark is your race winner. For the first time in Formula 1, a woman has won a Grand Prix. But Hamilton finishing in 2nd, Norris in 3rd. What a brilliant result for both of those two. Took advantage of a bit of some luck at the start, but it will hurt some drivers' championship hopes. What a race day for Nico Hulkenberg as well, finishing in 5th. His highest position in the Audi so far since Silverstone last year. Oliver Behrman and Ocon getting double points. Ricciardo in 8th, providing double points again for KCF1. Hadjar shoring up for Red Bull Racing. And well, this is how the championship looks then. Hamilton continues and expands his championship lead over Kimi Antonelli. Russell in 3rd, Norris in 4th. Verstappen drops down after DNF. Leclerc, Piastri, Hadjar, Clark and West. But it could all change next time when we go to Monaco.